One, this is my beautiful friend Natalia. She just went 80K last month. So everyone give her congratulations. $80,000 bonus. That is huge. So her team is definitely rocking and rolling and doing some amazing things. Her and I had a conversation the other day, and I just wanted her to briefly share with you what she had shared with me. Because I was just like, okay, what are you guys doing? And she's like, I mean, we're not really doing anything that anyone else isn't doing, except for I think you guys are really spearheading the whole sip and sample thing. That is huge. But her whole what's the word I'm trying perspective around mindset and like belief systems and stuff like that. When she told me about it, I legitimately had tears in my eyes. I was crying about what she had said. So I would love for you to just share kind of why you think your mindset is like such a key component and like what it is that you do with your children, because that was huge for me, and just why you think that's trickling down into your team.
I've always been kind of someone who I was raised without limitations. My dad's a minister. I don't know if you caught our little conversation, but his ideal was to ride a Harley out to South Dakota from Northern California every year and save people who are, doomed. Really is what it is. And he always taught me, no matter what, as long as you have the faith, you can move mountains, and you will. I mean, that's all it takes. And so just having been raised that way, I was raised without TV, and I was raised like homeschooled, and you know what I mean? I was in a bubble. So, I mean, that was a really kind of big deal. Whatever my dad said was like, and he was like, yeah, you can move mountains. Believe I sat there trying, like, I mean, I do have that kind of faith. And so it's just gone with me this whole time. We lost our home in the fires that went through Paradise and like Northern California, that whole thing. And so but we didn't let that get us down. I mean, we just like kept going. I mean, Thrive is really what came into the picture and saved me from going down that dark tunnel and losing my spirit and my happiness and all that kind of stuff. It was just something that came in that just really gave me the like energy and the perspective and rebirthed where we were at. I mean, that was
I just want to pause for a second. If you think you have an excuse as to why you can't work this business, she just said she lost her home, like literally her everything. I know there's another girl on your team that she lost everything too, and she just went NDK. You guys, if you're saying you like, no excuses.
Yeah, no excuses. Really, we were put in a position where we had to make it happen. There was no choice. My husband, I mean, with the entire town gone, we're talking 25,000 people that lost their homes all at the same time. That's everybody I ever grew up with. It was our hometown. Everybody we've ever known lost everything all at the same time. And there was just like no hope. There was nothing. I mean, we lived in a war zone. It was like nuts. And so, I mean, it was just like plugging in and realizing, well, first that I could get it for free, and then going from there. And so, just being that example to my kids, and, that was really like, I have to fix myself so I'm enough so that I can help fix them. You know what I mean? Like, we've been through a lot. And then of course, COVID, like, this is just nuts. Right after. So with all that, I really have just rejuvenated my thoughts on faith. I mean, you just have to know that you can do it. There isn't a bottom line where it's you can't speak out over your life anything, but it is going to happen. And know that faith is going to move that mountain no matter what. In this last, you mentioned Rachel hit 80K. I had 2 other people. I mean, we're talking down to the minutes hit hit 12K. Three girls hit 12K, and then another girl hit 4K on our team, like all on the same day. That was over $13,000 in volume that we pulled in one day. That is a mountain, if you ask me. I mean, we did it, and I told them in the morning. I spoke over my team, and I said, we are going to drop this many 12Ks, we're going to drop this many 4Ks, and this many 80Ks. Like, that's it. Ready, let's go. And I mean, I think that my view of the world helps my team. Like, you know, they're like, okay, we're going, you know, like, we're all gonna charge this mountain together, like, we're doing it. So I mean, that's really, really helpful. But you know, as we've worked through all this kind of stuff, and the kids have been able to see me develop and come out of that dark place that I was in, and really take hold of our lives and change it. I mean, we have a house now. Like, we started in a trailer with our clothes on, and I mean, that was nice. We had at least one outfit each, and our dogs made it, you know, we like saved them, but you know, that was the beginning. We had to start completely over. And so, you know, without my husband being able to work and stuff, I mean, we had to figure out how to live. Like, I needed that money like today, and that's what I did. I had, you know, all the VIPs and all that jazz and all that. So yeah, I'm like rambling now, I think.
No, I absolutely love everything that you just said. Yeah, like, just saying, having the belief. So just perspective wise, I'm gonna give, like, I know you guys know my story. Like, I was talking about, like, the end of 2020. I had the worst mental battles in 2020 that I think I've ever experienced in my life. I've never dealt with anxiety, and who knew that a pandemic would bring that out? But I reached December. This was before I even knew the bonuses were on the table. And I said, I am done with not believing in myself, not taking care of myself. Like, I'm done. And I'm just going to believe it. I'm going to believe that I'm going to make a change in my business and things are going to happen. And then the day before the bonuses were announced, I said, I'm quitting my part-time job, because literally I got my tax return information, and I was like, it makes no sense for me, because I'm making like $7,000 a year. Like, this doesn't make sense. But it's still scary, because you have a consistent paycheck coming in every single, like, just for sitting there, like, looking pretty at a desk all day. And I had the faith. I asked God, I trust you. If you're telling me to go, I'll go. And so, hands trembling, put my resignation in, and I just knew, and I believed I'm like, my husband is going to go 12K this month. I'm going to make it happen. I don't know how you're going to make this happen, God, but I'm going to trust that you're going to make it happen. And I put the work in, and lo and behold, it happened. And it's been easily maintained this whole time. And like, coming into this month, I'm like, I know I'm going 40K this month. No questions asked. I don't know how it's going to happen. Again, I think we always want to know the how, because it's human nature. Like, you want to see the tangible, but sometimes your faith has to carry you when your eyes cannot see. Let's be honest. Because I'm sure you had no idea how you were going to go 80K, right?
Well, I didn't know how I was even going to feed my kids to start with, but yeah, 80K. Yeah, I mean, we'd like to think that we have like some sort of like plan, but when it really comes down to it, it's just having faith that it's going to be, you know. And this is one of the things I do talk to my team about is, you know, because they'll be just discouraged by like, oh, this person, like, they started but they stopped this and that or whatever. And I'm like, listen, you know, I mean, you know, a lot of us have heard about timing, but I mean, you need to understand that this may not be their time. They might feel the urge, but it might not be their time to just jump on this and make this happen. And having faith that you are exactly where you're supposed to be at the right exact time. Like, this is a plan of God, not of you, and not of your will or anything like that. I mean, when you every day you wake up and there's people that are just like in your inbox, like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing, I can't believe this, oh my gosh, I got this bonus, oh my gosh, this is changing my life, like, you know that you're in the right place. Like, this was my calling. I went to liberal studies and I didn't finish it, but I was like, there's got to be a reason to have this somewhere along the line. And now like, it's gone full circle, and now I'm teaching, and I look at this like I'm going to school learning, and then I'm turning around and I'm teaching it. You know what I mean? As quick as I'm bringing it in, I'm giving it out, because it's worthless if I don't share it. And so I just, I knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, you are in the right timing no matter what, is key to having that faith of knowing that all the abundance that God wants for you is going to happen. It is happening. Like, you just make sure you keep going forward, you keep doing the best you can, and it's going to happen, and don't even let a word of doubt come over.
What do you tell your team when they say something? Because I firmly believe, I mean, there's a scientific backing behind, if you say something, the likelihood of it happening, like if you verbalize it, the likelihood of the thing that you said happen is like 44 times greater, and your brain will literally propel you towards whatever you're saying. Yes. But so I understand, like, those thoughts come, because like I'm sure they happen sometime, like the little thought comes in, you gotta immediately discard it and do not say it out loud.
Yeah, don't say it out loud.
Someone on your team that might be having one of those days when they don't see how it's possible for themselves, or they start saying the things like, the forbidden words, like stuck, or nobody wants this, or whatever. When someone's coming to you saying those sort of things, what do you say to them?
Stop, like, let's just reevaluate. Nope, it's over, done. Like, I don't talk about it like that. And one of the things I'll refer to is broccoli. And I know that sounds silly, but I've had daycare for about 15 years, and when it comes to something that makes me just cringe, like, oh my gosh, is do not ever speak over your children like they, oh, they don't like broccoli. I mean, I know it's just as simple as that, but whatever. Don't speak it out. Don't say it. I always came to the table with whatever it was, and nobody had an option. I mean, this is what's for lunch, and I said, here's broccoli. Oh, and I'd be like, all of my kids love broccoli. And I set it down on the table, and they're, oh, no, whatever. But I mean, eventually they start liking broccoli, and it just happens because I'm speaking it out over there. I'm not telling them they have to eat it, nothing like that. It's just like, oh, my kids love broccoli, and they're just like, and they do, it does come around, they do like broccoli. It's okay, there's nothing weird about it. But just speaking out over your life and your children especially is like huge. You want to make sure that whatever you're saying, even if it's the total opposite and it's a joke, speak it anyway, because it will come true. It's more likely to come true than wishing it would and saying the opposite. You can't wish for it one way and be speaking it a different way. You have to just speak over everything with confidence and knowing that what you're saying is going to be.
So the majority of the people on this do have children, so I know that this will hit. Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer in that I cannot tell my kids that you can do what you want. If you work hard, you can be what you want. You can chase whatever dream you have on your heart. I cannot say those things to them if I am not like emulating it myself. I firmly believe that, because I think of my parents and I'm like, there's no visual proof for me, because they quit on their dreams, right? Neither one of them pursued the things. They still talk about them to this day. And I always tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, go write the book. Like, what are you waiting for? Just do it. Like, I don't care what your dad said back in the day or whatever. I'm like, you're your own person now. Like, go write the damn book. But something that you said to your kids that you told me, like, really hit home. And I actually shared a little bit of it with a couple people on my team, but how do you cast the vision to your family? Because one, I think they need to understand like why it is that you're working so hard, or like if you are on your phone at certain times, or you need to step away from dinner or whatever. I think it's important that we communicate that to our families, that there's a reason behind we're doing this, but obviously back it up with being purposeful on your phone. So how do you paint that vision for your family?
Well, okay, so for one, I have 5 kids, and 3 of them are teen girls that are 2 15-year-olds and a 17-year-old. And so they all, from the beginning, I'm all, you guys are going to be thriving. You're going to have, your own Thrive businesses and stuff. And no, 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 no. You're going to be, and now I'm to the point where I just whisper over them. I'm like, you're going to be a millionaire. You're going to be a millionaire. You are going to be, we're going to get there. It's going to happen. And it's not so much the money. It's just I want them to know that that's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like it is. And so, the quiet times that I have with each of them, I take them aside and I have talked to them about, obviously, being able to run a business just like this and stuff. And they're like, I don't want to, Mom. Like, oh, like, I don't think Thrive is my thing. Okay, well, it doesn't have to be your thing. It's like an avenue to take you to the next level. And then I'll kind of step back, maybe even another conversation or whatever. And because I'm a very like, little tiny bits, like little trails I follow, and it guide them, slowly. But I say, hey, if what in the world, what is the main thing that makes you cry in the whole world? Like, is it hungry babies in other countries? Is it like animals that need to be rescued? Is it, like, what is it that, like, when you think about it, it just makes you like furiously cry for those people or those things or whatever it is? Like, what is it that just makes tears like come to your eyes when you think about it? We've been through like a lot, so we can bring tears out. So I was really actually surprised that my daughter Gracie, hers was that it's not fair that people can't have insulin when that's what they need. They can't afford it, and then they are put in a position where they could die if they don't have it. And she was like fluttered. It was like she was very, very passionate. I'm all, okay, so being a millionaire isn't a status of having a Lamborghini or whatever. It is being able to feel that need in the world, to be able to go out there and to help those people. Thrive is one thing like that gets you to where you can do whatever it is that makes you cry and fix the part of the world that like needs it more than anything in your view. And that's like extremely important for them to know. It's not just like, oh, you could be president someday or whatever. It's really like giving them the vision now and putting those little seeds in now, so that once they do turn 18 and once they can take on and I can help them like build their businesses, they are going to have a major future ahead of them, that they and their purpose, like whatever God's put on their heart, that's not for me to decide, and that's going to take them to wherever in the world. I don't want them to be limited at all, and that's what it gets me emotional. You know what I mean? Like, talk about a why. That part makes it all worthwhile to me. So anyway, to
Oh, that was so good, because I relate to that so much. I have 3 kids of my own, and I think of, so I was a single mom with my oldest. I was 19 years old when I had him. And I think of all the struggle that him and I had to battle for the majority of his life, up until I would say recently. I would say last couple years. We would struggle. I would say no a lot, and I never wanted to be that mom that had to say no to things. And I'm not saying like I spoil my children, because I'm saying like having to say no to like experiences and things like that, or not being able to attend things. And that is just such a driving force, I think, for most parents, is that you want to give your kids a better legacy than like you had, or you want to open up, especially when you live in like a small area or whatever. You're so limited to seeing how much there is in the world. And like, There's 7 billion people on the earth. I don't want you to say that there is no one that wants to thrive, because there's 7 billion people on this planet. Only enough thrivers to fit in Manhattan City. One city. So that, like, painting a vision, if you guys haven't sat down for a while and wrote down, like, what is the reason why you want to do this? Because I think you get so caught up in, like, doing the daily activities and the things that you forget that this is a vehicle for you to unlock the reason that you were placed on this earth. And it might not be like you leading Zooms every day or whatever. Like, that might not be your final destination, but this is going to open up income resources for you to really make an impact in the world. And I think I hadn't looked at it from that perspective, like, because I think when you come from a biblical perspective, you're like, oh, is it greedy? Like, money's the root of all evil, and da 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 da. Like, you hear all those things, and that, no. God wants you to fulfill the thing that he put on your heart. And can you do that when you're limited on resources? Can you really magnify his kingdom as big as possible if you're limited on your resources and you're just stressed out about paying bills? No. So this is the resource, the vehicle to get you to that place. So when you had told me that, like when she said about the insulin thing, I was like, oh my gosh. Because is she diabetic?
No, her stepdad is. And so her mom has gets medication, and so they have to share so he can get it through the day and stuff. And so she's actually adopted, so we're like, we try to stay close with the family in order to make sure that she has a wealth, but she's protected and all that kind of stuff. But through their life choices and things, like they are hurting, and she sees it, and she that's what she wants to help. And then there's several other people in our lives that like struggle with that too, so it's like close to our hearts and stuff. And so anyway, she I was actually really shocked. I mean, she is a smart cookie, but that was like I figured it'd be like fuzzy animals and stuff like that, but she really that's my other daughter, that's my 10-year-old. She wants to save all the animals that are in like fires and stuff. That's like her idea, like, of what to do. That may change or whatever, but I mean, if that's if it still is in a few years, that'll be great.
Right. Well, I want to thank you. I know you got some stuff you got to hop on, so I want to thank you so much for just taking a few moments to share your heart with us, because that means so much to me. And I can't wait to watch you go 200K.
Oh my gosh, I know. You know what I told Stephanie and a couple of the ladies, because we're in a new 80K group that just happened, like, because it all just happened. But I went in there and I'm all, gosh, I'm really sad, because I worked really hard to get to 80K, and it's just so sad that it's only going to last a month. Oh well. They're like,
best mentality ever, though. Oh, well. Was it Nicole or was it you today that in their top leader chat that was like, is there something wrong with your back office? And they're like, other than the fact that it doesn't say 200K, no.
Right.
That's the mindset you have to have, because it carries you through the bad days. It carries you through the people that maybe give up on themselves, like, and you can't give up on yourself, and it gets you through the no's. It gets you through the people that are like, well, I didn't really feel anything on my first day. It gets you through all that because you have a vision for your life, and you're just sorting next. I'm gonna impact.
I don't let people have a bad day. It's not allowed.
I also can't wait to see your new Bronco. Oh, that's right, you customized a Bronco.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. I've been earning it for like 18 months now. I probably should actually get the car. I put braces on my kids instead, because we needed those. And they're all 15. They got to have their teeth all nice and stuff. So anyway, that was my sacrifice. But now Mama's pretty Bronco. It's all lifted. It's gonna be so pretty. It's the brand.
You have to order those babies. You have to order them.
Yeah, and then you have to like build it online and then submit it and like pay like down payments and all this kind of stuff. Like, and I don't, there's a lot to it. It's not just like go down to the dealership, and pick one out. It's a pretty extensive thing, but it's really cool because it's gonna be completely customized. And then I'm gonna get a stripe down the side that's like, like the old school, but where it says Lavelle like on the stripe, where it like kind of
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be
When
so
do you
cute.
get it?
Um, that's a joke. We'll get there. I'm patient, so it's okay. When it comes, when God's ready, it's fine. I'll just keep
Awesome.
going along until it comes. We might go get another one. I just hit 12K on my husband's account, so we might as well just, go get another one. Get a
Yep,
Lexus.
that's what my husband and I are discussing right now. We're gonna go test drive some trucks.
Yeah, he wants a
Because
truck.
I've had it for 2 years almost. But I was so upside down in my car. So I'm like, it's time. It's time for me. I'm paying off all this debt. It's time for me to go get the vehicle. Why not? I need to leverage the $800.
Yeah.
And there's literally, so I have a truck. It's on my dream board, a GMC Sierra Denali black, right?
Woo.
It is gorgeous. And I was driving into our small town. So I live in a really small town and there's a conjoining town next to us that is a little bit bigger and they have a dealership there. It's not a GMC dealership. It's, I think it's Chevy. And I was driving to the gas station there and I like happened to glance over and it's sitting in the parking lot. I was like, no, And then my husband and I pulled up to our small little town, Dollar General, pull up, go inside, come outside, big GMC Sierra Denali parked next to us in our town of 800 people.
Right.
They weren't from our town, obviously, but I was like, all right, God, I hear you. Okay, I'm supposed to do this. Like,
yeah, exactly. So, I know.
crazy.
We're in a town where because of people's getting insurances, we're in the little tiny pocket town above Paradise that burnt, and so we've kind of merged up into the woods again. And you can see there's actual trees behind me. Woo! But we're a big wheeling area, like everybody's wheeling and stuff, and I mean there's not going to be any other like Broncos driving around. I'm super excited. It's going to be like flashing Lavelle. Yeah, like look at this, you want one? I'll get you it free. Let's go.
I always say that like anytime I pass somebody that has like a BMW or Mercedes or whatever on the highway, I'm like, you could be getting paid for that.
Yeah. Could be getting it free. Woo! Yeah. Oh man. I know we've been shopping the kids everywhere we go. They're like, that one, that one, that one, that one. They all wanted me to get the Tesla. And I'm all, that's cool and all, but we live in the mountains. A mountain truck.
Right. Well, thank you, Natalia. I appreciate you taking time with us. I love you dearly. And Sarah says, so you'll be 200K before your Bronco's done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna have to get another one. I'll have to get something fancy.
Oh shoot, darn it.
Oh shoot. Gosh, well darn. Well, after this 200K, my gosh, he keeps, my husband, he's out here on the garden. He keeps doing the numbers and it just blows my mind. I can't even do the numbers. It's just like, it's just, give all that you can. Just keep giving,
I can tell you with me just having my regular paycheck, my $12,000 bonus and my 40K bonus, you guys, I will make 6 figures this year. 6 figures, you guys. I never thought that was possible for my life. Never went to college, cosmetology graduate, almost dropped out. Let's be honest. Single mom at 19. 6 figures a year, you guys, and I've only been in this business for 3 years. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Like, all of that is open to you, all of it.
Yeah, 2 years. On the 3rd April 3rd was my 2-year anniversary. So it is possible. It is absolutely possible. And don't let anybody say different and just keep going. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, and you'll get into a spot where there's so many people that are just ready, like at the right times, like they've been following you for like years and you're like, really? okay, yeah, come on, let's go. And just the confidence builds and builds, and everything just, it's all in the right timing. It's all in perfect timing. And so thank you for having me on, because I feel it's the perfect timing.
Love you so much.
Love you too. I'm flattered and very grateful. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You can hop off. I'm going to just chat with them when we're a little bit.
Okay, I got to catch up with all the peeps. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
If she can get herself off.
I know. Well, it's all on my little stick thing. I gotta get. I'll at least mute myself. I talk too much.
You guys, I'm not going to keep you on much longer. I just wanted to just reiterate some things, and then I'm going to do a drawing for, what do I want to do? All right, I'm going to have to like do cat out of the bag kind of thing. So I'm going to give away one of these cups. It says Legacy Leaders on there. I got them customized. So drop what your biggest takeaway is, and what is one thing that you're going to do. What is an action that you're going to take that you, from what you've heard today? And drop it in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Am I frozen? Oh, okay, good. So drop a takeaway in the chat. And I just want you guys to know, I know each of you deeply. I care about each of you deeply. And I know that all those things that you claimed 7 days ago that you wanted for your business this month are possible for you. That you can do anything no matter what is going on. Yeah. Like going through a fire, like I'm like, oh my God. Can you imagine losing everything? I mean, one, it puts your life into a whole new perspective. And like she said, her and the other girl, Rachel, that's on her team that I know. Rachel didn't even have money to buy a pack, you guys, because they lost everything. She went VIP 1600 because she was like, I need to put food in my kids' mouths and I need to put clothes on our bodies. Yes, girl, yes. Oh, and a puppy. When she had talked about like talking to her kids, that one, when her and I were speaking before this, I literally cried because I was like, I want my kids to have a vision for their life. And so I started writing things down, like what would the income unlock for my family? This is what I wrote down. What would the income unlock for my family? Because I know that sometimes we get there's reasons why we block ourselves as to not accepting abundance. Maybe it's like you've never seen that kind of money. Maybe it's like you're worried what people are going to think of you or what they're going to say, or you're worried if you're going to change. If you're a giving person and a beautiful soul, like, which I know each and every one of you are, the only thing that money is going to do is amplify all that and allow you to give even more. And so I wrote down, like, what would this unlock for my family? Experiences. It would allow my kids to live outside of our town of 800 people and actually be able to meet different people, see different things, get to different perspective, and really live a big life. Yeah, I know. Like when she was like, you don't say those things. You don't say those things. I'm going to have to just do a scan. Yes. And Chas had a Zoom on just a little bit ago too, and she was saying very similar things. Good night, Dill. Love you. She was saying, like, because Maria was on that Zoom, and Maria is like the top earner in the company, who I've actually had the pleasure to meet. She's a very down to earth, super nice person. She was a speech pathologist before she started with this company, you guys. She couldn't even like rub 2 dimes together. She said her and her family. She makes 8 figures with Lavelle, you guys. 8 figures. And she was like, I was seeing these patterns in my family's life, and I said, the buck stops here. It has to stop here. You can't keep repeating the same. If you want more for your kids and for your family, or if you don't have kids, for your future children, if you want a different life for them than you've experienced in your life, or if you just want to even open up more doors, this is the vehicle to get you there. Stop limiting beliefs to yes. Let the downers get in the way. Yes. Yes. The thing that she, like, you can just feel it with her that she firmly believes, like, the things I'm saying are going to happen. And I think we can all borrow from her confidence. And anytime you catch those thoughts coming in, or you see like maybe you catch a word that you say, immediately replace it with something else that is going to be positive and moving you forward. Because we need to negate that. And I want you guys to have the homes. I want September to have her home. I want Jennifer to have her home. I want Claire to have her home. There's so many of you that want to buy your own houses. This would be the way for you guys to do that, seriously. So thank you for taking time to be on with us tonight. I think that was such a great call with her. Oh, I just loved it. And I will do a drawing with my little thing on my phone, and then I will put it in the chat who the winner is for the cup. Love you guys.